Welcome back. End of day recap stock market. My strategy was all right until about 11:30, 11:45, almost noon, that it all crashed down. But 9:30, right after the opening bracket was set, the first call I had got to $280 something, $247. So it was just discipline and attendance, the issues that happened today. So I opened another one incorrectly because I had to be 27 for the 28th for tomorrow. So I missed out on that. So 3 trades went out today that would have been the entire week when it comes to PDT rules. But so far, I think I said actually 4 trades. Today I went overboard and executed 4 trades which would have violated PDT rules. My first call was negative $100, and the second one is set for tomorrow to hopefully C-SPY at 548, or an uptrend instead of a downtrend. And if it's a downtrend, we could safely assume if SPY's on a downtrend since last week, we could just go 7 days, although it would be negative because that's not a smart idea. But a 7 days to expiration put with like 90 or 100 delta, as high delta as you can get on a put. Overall, today we have a special edition discussion. We're going to call it the politics section. Current politics section. Tonight's the debate. They're planning on the debate to have control over the microphone, so there's no instant rebuttal. In my opinion, that instant rebuttal, that lack of counter argument on the spot leads to people forgetting things. So if you remember the last debate, Trump and Hillary Clinton, Hillary spoke, Trump interrupted, I'm going to send you to prison. Those are initial thoughts that are strong responses over either character, decision making, etc., etc. When you cut off someone's microphone and you make it an uncivilized debate, because it's technically an uncivilized debate. They are trying to develop it as an uncivilized debate in which neither person or neither presidential candidate has control of the pauses. There's a lot of room for bias. There's a lot of room of who wants to listen to what. In addition to the person giving the debates, the 3 people that usually give the debate, pursuing their interested narratives while silencing whomever turn they got. In my opinion, it's a negative thing because when you have to say something, it's usually really quick. And if you have to wait 2-3 minutes usually 2 minutes for the other person to be done, you might forget it. It might not, what you're trying to say might not drive the same impact because you have a 2-minute delay before you could speak again. So I think that's wrong. Overall, I'm already making bets on who's going to win. Everything's a bet. Everything's a gamble. I'm already making bet who's going to win the presidential election for next year. Overall, I think it's going to be a military-based presidential election. It's not going to be by the people, just like last time. Last time, Trump said that they stole it from him, and the environment in Washington, D.C. was not normal. If they would have stolen it from Trump last presidential election and the environment in Washington, D.C. was normal, no military, no barricades, no barbed wire, no this, no that, we wouldn't assume that the president was chosen by the military, which is my current argument. We don't know about the powers of the military based on existential crisis, the death of president, the vice president, etc., etc., etc. There are rules that most civilians and most people know on how to elect the president of this country, but some of them that we don't. In my opinion, who selected Joe Biden instead of Donald Trump was the military. Why? Because of the military presence. Because I don't think it would be too difficult for four generals decide this on their own based on the decisions that Trump made as he left office. He left with confidential information. He withheld information. It wasn't like Obama. When Obama left the White House, he wasn't scurrying away paperwork from the White House. Confidential, president eyes only paperwork. They weren't for official use only. You know, they were top secret documents that he took on that plane. So based on that risk that Donald Trump presented a second time around, the military said, all right, it's going to be Joe Biden. Joe Biden not win, but Joe Biden's going to be president now. And that's my personal assumption. And that's my personal assumption for November. If nothing happens as November gets there, there's no insurrection, there's no riots, there's no crazy things happening in Washington D.C. that warrants military intervention or military barricades or military control in Washington D.C. and Washington D.C. goes under lockdown, military lockdown again, we could safely assume that several generals or military power put the current president in place. As I stated, that we know some of the things in place, who would be the next president. That some people would say, oh, the House, the Speaker of the House would be president, someone in the Senate would be president, this and that. But there's deeper rules that we don't know about. And most of them, most of them remove the power the military has over the government. You know, most people don't understand how powerful is the government compared to the military. And in the president, in selecting the president, most people be like, nah, but the people got the power, etc., etc. And nah, because if the people wants to select a criminal for a president, someone has to intervene. And God forbid, it's two criminals being elected for president at the same time. Just two, not one, but two. Who do you think is going to make the decision? Senate is not going to make the decision because it's usually a bipartisan party, you know, that's running everything. The House is bipartisan, the Senate's bipartisan. Who do you think is going to make the decision? The military. That's the final end. That's the end result. So my opinion, if by November for no reason whatsoever, a whole bunch of military unloaded in Washington, D.C., the military made the decision and who's going to be president. Give it be Trump or Biden. In my opinion, I'm leaning on Biden again, based on what happened as Trump was apparently leading the election and Democratic ballots kept appearing out of nowhere in a case of widespread election fraud. Hope you guys have fun. I'm out of here. Guess what I had? Bologna, like an animal. I ate 6 sandwiches, plus chips, and I'm still not done with the soda. I left 2 sandwiches, just 2, but I would have ate them all. But there's like people looking at me or whatever. There's like women or whatever looking at me like, oh, look at this guy eating all that bologna. I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna eat it all. I'm not gonna be terminally obese in front of them. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have a little bit. I'm gonna have a little bit of control. I'm gonna separate. I don't know, these last 4 slices and hide that for later on tonight. Yeah, see y'all later. Hopefully my spy calls tonight print 548. And everything goes as planned on my current strategy. Peace.